Hello, beautiful people. This is Freedom Fighter. Thank you for tuning into our channel, Goldilocks Global Banking News. Everybody knows that Goldilocks is the #1 source for the RVGCR. People from around the world tune in to see what Goldilocks is sharing on the RVGCR. Don't miss your chance and get your latest updates every day. So like, share, and subscribe to this channel to get your daily podcast from the Goldilocks articles on the RVGCR. Brought to you by Freedom Fighter. Hello, fine folks. This is Freedom Fighter, and I am your host of Goldilocks Global Banking News, whereby thousands of people around the world are tuning in, subscribed to Goldilocks Global Banking News. You are a part of an elite group, ladies and gentlemen. Be very, very proud. I just got off the phone with Goldilocks, and we went over several key important pieces of information that you must be aware of. If you have ever wondered where the money comes from to fund the RV, if you ever wondered what is the vehicle, the avenue, the means for the money to move into the banking system to fund the RV that will allow us to exchange our currencies, you're going to find out today by Goldilocks. One of them is the Depository Trust and Clearing Corporation, whereby $7 trillion a day, per day, moves through this global agency, and they are actually making a very important move towards the funding into the banking system that Goldilocks is breaking the news today. Before that, we're going to touch on the World Trade Organization, and we know that Iraq is waiting their fourth working party meeting because they now have qualified to enter into the World Trade Organization. So folks, let's jump right into it. The World Trade Organization Joint Initiative on E-Commerce. This is the first global digital trade agreement that the World Trade Organization has signed. This global digital trade agreement is whereby all of the countries that are members of the World Trade Organization, 120 plus countries, they all will now participate all of their trades on the same digital platform. And this is a joint effort that they have done, the World Trade Organization, with another organization that they've combined with. Folks, this is why Iraq, earlier part of this year, were so adamant about announcing that they have digitized the Iraqi economy. They made it a point to let it be known that they have finalized all of the processes for digitizing their banks. And as Goldilocks has shared several weeks ago, where Iraq has announced the licensing of their digital banks as well, because the digitizing of their banking system allows them to also be a part of this global digital trade agreement with the World Trade Organization. You must know this initiative aims, this digital agreement, global digital agreement with the World Trade Organization, it allows them, the countries within the WTO, to create common rules for e-commerce in 3 areas: digital trade, open digital environments, and business and consumer trust. The goals are, within this new digital agreement, is to make trade faster, cheaper, and fair, and more secure. So just imagine, especially when Iraq finalizes joining the World Trade Organization, and their trade is faster, cheaper, and fair, with the other 120 plus countries, the faster the trade, the cheaper the trade. What happens to the dinar? The value of the dinar increases. The goals of this trade agreement also boost global trade in goods and services, support of economic development, supports greater cooperation in specific sectors such as telecommunications, creates an enabling environment, a better environment for digital trade, supports regulatory coherence between all of the countries, including Iraq, included within the World Trade Organization. The World Trade Organization's Joint Statement Initiative on E-Commerce has not yet been signed by all of the members, but 82 members have reached an agreement, and it was stabilized. Goldilocks is sharing this for you to understand and know that this initiative aims to establish global rules for e-commerce and reduce barriers in digital trade. Now let's talk about Goldilocks is sharing on the Depository Trust and Clearing Corporation. Remember, you want to know about where the money is coming from for the RV? One of the vehicles, the avenues, the means, the digital banking systems that will fund the RV so that we can exchange currencies. The Depository Trust and Clearing Corporation, which is the premier post-trade market infrastructure for global financial services industry, just made an announcement today. The DTCC, which is the Depository Trust and Clearing Corporation, has a digital launch. Here we go. Digital again. The blockchain, the QFS. What is it? Digital. This digital Launchpad, which is an industry sandbox. It's the industry standard, which is intended to bring together financial market participants, which is the countries around the world, which are the participants, to clear the pathway for global adoption of digital assets. Remember, the assets that will back the dinar, the gold, the silver, the digital assets that will back all currencies, the agricultural products of every country, the products and the digital assets of Vietnam, of Venezuela, whatever country for the currency you hold, they have assets. The Depository Trust and Clearing Corporation is the avenue to digitize those physical assets, to make them digital, so that those physical assets that backs the dinar, that backs the dong, they now will have a digital means to move through the quantum financial system and provide real values on our currencies, real values on all assets. Goldilocks is sharing is that as an open ecosystem, the DTCC, which is the Depository Trust and Clearing Corporation, Goldilocks has been sharing about the DTCC for over 2 years. And now we're seeing the launch. The digital Launchpad will feature market participants, so countries, technology providers, and others working together to identify and collaborate on meaningful pilots that have a clear path to production. So think of the global collaboration with all of these countries, for the currencies that you hold, and they have assets, in-ground assets. The DTCC is one of the avenues to provide those assets with the digital means to move in the quantum financial system. Then we have SWIFT, Goldilocks is sharing. It's an international messaging system that I'm sure most of you heard of, that is currently ISO compliant, which is how XRP and others move through the system, that because they are XRP compliant, this is how the dinar will be able to move through the quantum financial system, therefore enabling our exchanges to occur in the quantum financial system. The DTCC, the Depository Trust and Clearing Corporation, whereby $7 trillion per day moves through the DTCC as an international payment system that is digitized through several initiatives, such as the digital assets, digital securities, digital Launchpad, and more. The DTCC, Depository Trust and Clearing Corporation, is launching a digital Launchpad to help the financial industry adopt digital assets more widely. It brings together banks around the world, institutions around the world. It brings together central banks from around the world. Think the Central Bank of Iraq. Think the Federal Reserve Bank of the U.S. and all the currencies for which you hold. This helps to address industry challenges, build secure infrastructure. SWIFT, the SWIFT system, which all banks have traditionally moved money through, is collaborating with the DTCC to digitize the transition to fund the RV. So SWIFT and the DTCC are now supporting digital assets and tokenizations starting in 2025. This is it, folks. Goldilocks is sharing. This is it. Both the DTCC and SWIFT oversee quadrillions in transfer volume each and every year. The DTCC, $7 trillion a day. You combine that with SWIFT, there is your quadrillions. This digital launch is an historic move towards who, what, and how the RV will be funded. SWIFT and the DTCC are now in agreement of moving forward with the International Messaging System ISO 222, which is the messaging system for which the dinar, the dong, and every currency will move through the quantum financial system. And the World Trade Organization, the WTO, is currently working on finalizing trade agreements that will enable the international payment systems called the ISO 222, SWIFT, and DTCC. The World Trade Organization is working on agreements to enable them to move forward collectively. As these new components of the quantum financial system are interfaced with tokenized assets on the market, Goldilocks is sharing. We have new laws that are governing the new quantum technologies going forward that are finally in their final phases. Each day, Goldilocks is sharing, each and every day. The Goldilocks team is watching each of these developments, preparing to be synchronized and implemented in 2025. Just know, no coincidence, the World Trade Organization has announced that the first quarter of 2025 is the fourth working party with Iraq to enter into the World Trade Organization. We watch and we wait, but we prepare ourselves for the moment that this blessing will be upon us. Folks, be well, be kind. Any questions, you're welcome to come into the Goldilocks QFS Dialogues room. We are there for you. Be well, with unconditional love. Hello, beautiful people. This is Freedom Fighter. Thank you for tuning into our channel, Goldilocks Global Banking News. Everybody knows that Goldilocks is the #1 source for the RVGCR. People from around the world tune in to see what Goldilocks is sharing on the RVGCR. Don't miss your chance and get your latest updates every day. So like, share, and subscribe to this channel to get your daily podcast from the Goldilocks articles on the RVGCR. Brought to you by Freedom Fighter.